Friends, this day could not get any more magical. As I was driving to the Prairie Creek Redwood State Park by Klamath River, I made a turn. These are acorns. I made a turn on this campground. It's just in the middle of nowhere. There's nobody here. But as I stopped, I looked at the ground and it's filled with acorns. And I've been looking to pick acorns to make an acorn meal because this is an traditional native food, traditional native crop. And I've been guided to this spot, and I cannot begin to tell you how magical it is. I actually took my kids to our local park and I asked permission to pick acorns. They said that it's not season yet, but they said closer to October, November. But now that I'm up north, it's actually the season. So I'm going to pick some and I'm going to ask, well, actually I have a book. I have a book, how to make acorn meal and how to make acorn bread and how to make acorn pancakes and all that stuff. But I also found a class in LA that I don't know if I'm missing it this week. I'm gonna call the guy. He teaches you how to do all of this because acorns inside, they're first toxic. So you have to wash them, the inside of the acorn. Is it called bleaching? Leaching. I think it's called leaching. There's hot and cold leaching. So cold leaching preserves all the nutritional value inside. And you just, we'll talk about that later. I'm gonna just pick up a bunch of acorns. Look how many I found. Guys, I am so blessed. I am so blessed. And thankful. I'm so thankful. I'm gonna pick up more and we're gonna make something out of them with my children, and of course I'm gonna film and show you how it's done as well. And by the way, there's all different types of oak trees. I'm gonna photograph these ones and make sure that I identify them correctly because different acorns require different preparation and different time for leaching, for getting that toxin out of them. All right, I'm going to go pick acorns now. Bye. This tree keeps treating me to acorns. The minute I find a spot with a lot of hollow ones, and that's the way to actually find out whether they are good or not, by weight. Some of them, they feel like they're empty inside. And those are the ones that the worms already got to first. So the moment I get to the patch where I feel like, oh, these are all hollow, the tree throws new acorns at me. Imagine. This is incredible. And by the way, there are a lot of flies here. And this is something that I mentioned in my old video, is that these things are made to be shared. This is a gift of nature. They're made to be picked up. They don't need to all decompose here on Earth. Some, of course, are going to the earth and going to the insects and to the little worms. But the amount of flies here tells me that this is not just a normal decomposition process, which is a regular process, but that this is turning into decay, and we don't want the land to decay, to go through that process of inviting all these unnecessary energy to itself. So we are going to pick up all the gifts and make sure that they don't decay, and always pick, what is it, like just a quarter of what you can, so that others behind you can pick more, and that some is left for all the animals around here. So again, to pick the right ones, from what I know, you have to check if they're hollow inside. The ones that are bad will feel super light compared to the other ones. Guys, we're so lucky. Look at this harvest. Oh my I wish you knew what it means to me. I've been looking to find acorns for so long, and today is the day. Guys, as I'm picking up the acorns, I'm also picking up trash. And some of it is like, cans and cigarette butts. But some of it is really cool and it looks so good. Look at all these beads. It's probably some children were playing here and dropped the beads, or maybe somebody's bracelet or necklace broke. But look how pretty it looks here among these acorns, like a little rainbow of color. Well, we're gonna have to pick them up anyways, although they look so pretty here. I don't know if they're good for the land, but yeah, we're gonna clean up every little bit, everything. I have a whole bag full of trash in my car, and if I see anything on the side of the road, I usually look for the first pullover and stop, and then I go and I pick it up. Go back and pick it up and then continue moving forward. All right, I think we picked up all the beads laying around here. I threw the cigarette butts in the pit, but all the rest of the trash I'm just gonna put in the trash. Oh, thank you! You see the trees thanking me, and it's giving me more acorns. We're gonna come back for them. Oh, more cigarette butts. All right, let's go trash these and trash these and pick up some more acorns. And then I've decided that in order to thank the tree and this environment here, I'm going to read them a story, because all of the trees that are deciduous trees that will drop their leaves, they will soon go to sleep. All of their sap is going to go down, and I'm gonna read them a bedtime story, and just as something to give back to them. And believe me, your plants, all of the trees, they can't wait to communicate with you. So go talk to them, read them a bedtime story, and see what happens. It's magic. My friends, and as promised, I'm going to read a story to our oak tree that has been so kind by providing these gifts to us. The name of the story, well, I'm going to be reading again from the Indian Legends of the Pacific Northwest, written by Ella E. Clark and printed by University of California Press. And today's story will be the story of the changer. And this is another thing that I've talked about, that I've mentioned prior, about going up to the sky and coming back down, and meeting people of another world, and how those Indian or Native American legends can be so connected to our journey of searching and connecting to people of their world, right? It's like traveling to another dimension. All right, let's read the story. Dear tree, thank you so much. Here's a story for you and for you, my dear listeners. The story of the changer. Star husbands is a favorite theme in Indian mythology. It occurs in tribal tales all the way from Nova Scotia to the Washington coast. Among the tribes of the Puget Sound and the Olympic Peninsula areas, it is usually linked with the birth of the changer, but it is used in another way in the Earth People Visit the Sky People tale. A pile-up variant of the following pile-up myth was related in August 1952 by Jerry Meeker. The bright star in the myth has been identified as Venus in the west in the evening, the red star as Venus in the east in the morning. In the version written by Henry Cicade, the rope ladder finally fell down from the sky and was turned into Snoqualmie Falls. Two sisters, working together, dug the fern roots for their family. Often, when they were digging roots at some distance from home, they would camp overnight. One evening, as they lay looking at the sky, the girls wondered what kind of people the stars were and how they lived up in the star land. "Which star would you like to marry?" asked the younger sister. "The big bright one or the little red one?" Oh, don't be foolish," answered the older sister. "Why do you talk that way?" But her sister was not silenced. "I want to marry the big bright star. You may have the little red one." She stopped talking and the two fell asleep. Next morning, when they awoke, they were surprised to find themselves in Starland. The older sister was married to the little red star, a handsome young man. The younger sister was married to the big bright star, a white-haired old man. Just as in the earth world, the sisters spend much of their time digging fern roots. "Do not dig the very long roots," their husbands told them. "They are not so good to eat as the other ones." For a long time, the women obeyed their husbands, but one day they decided to dig up the very deepest roots. They knew that on earth, the longest ones were best. They dug and dug until at last their digging sticks broke through the ground and made a hole. Looking through it, they saw the earth spread out below them. Then they knew that they wanted to return home. Quickly, they made a plan. While the older sister dug fern roots, the younger sister twisted cedar branches into a rope long enough to reach from the sky to the earth. Both worked hard and fast, an older one digging as many roots as the two girls had been digging. At last, the rope was long enough. They fastened one end to the starland and then climbed down. Their family was made happy by their return, and people from far and wide came to swing from the rope which hung from the sky. How fun! They swung so much that they made gullies on the sides of the nearby mountains where their feet touched. Soon after their return to the earth, the older sister gave birth to a son. Whenever she went out to dig roots and camas, she left the baby in care of her blind grandmother, Toad. All day the grandmother worked and sang. All day women came to hear the grandmother sing and to see the baby, the wonderful child of the red star in Starland. One day, some neighbor women found that the child was gone. The blind grandmother was singing to a swing that had a piece of rotten wood in it. Two women from the north had stolen the baby. All the family and all the other people of the village looked and looked for the children for months. At last they gave up their search and made a new child from the cradle board. The new child was thought of as the brother of the stolen baby. Many years later, Blue Jay, on his travels, reached the edge of the world, far in the Northland. There he saw a land beyond the edge of the world. To reach it, Blue Jay saw that he would have to fly below a shelf of land. I'm fasting and not drinking or eating, so sometimes my mouth gets super dry. I apologize. There he saw a land beyond the edge of the world. To reach it, Blue Jay saw that he would have to fly below a shelf of land. This shelf rose and fell all the time and shook the earth with its movement. Wow. Blue Jay hesitated, but gathering all his courage, he dashed through the feet first. The shelf of land caught his head and flattened it on both sides. That is why blue jays today have flattened heads. In the land beyond the edge of the earth, Jay saw but one house. In it, he found a man chipping arrowheads from the stone. Somehow, it's raining acorns on us. Somehow, Blue Jay recognized the man as the child who had been stolen from his grandmother and in his babyhood. "I came to find you," said Jay. "Your mother had been mourning for you for many years." "I'm getting ready to go to your people," replied the man. "I have been making bows and arrows and other things to take with me. Go home to your people and tell that I am coming. I will teach them how to use the things I am making. Then life will be easier for them, and I will change the earth so that it will be less cruel and more beautiful. People will call me the Changer." Blue Jay returned with the message for his people. In time, the Changer came, bringing with him bows, arrows, war clubs, baskets, moccasins, leather garments, and other things which he made. He showed the people how to use them and how to make them. He brought seeds of many trees and shrubs. He brought roots and berries and grasses of many kinds. All these he planted on the earth to make it beautiful and fruitful. He placed animals and birds on land and fishes in the water. He made canoes and fish traps and showed the people how to make them. Up to this time, stones had life. Bees, flies, and other insects had been giants. The Changer removed life from stones and made the insects small and less harmful. Crane had been troublesome to many people by tripping them whenever they tried to cross the river. The Changer transformed Crane into a bird that could do nothing but wait around in the water looking for fish. As the Changer passed across the land, he came to the house where lived a bad man who sometimes set the earth on fire. "I am the son of fire," the man kept singing. "I am the son of flames." As he sang, his house caught on fire and the flames spread. Soon they reached the Changer. He ran, but flames followed. Alarmed, he asked boulders to protect him. "We cannot," boulders replied. "If we should try, the heat would break us." The Changer asked trees to help him. "We cannot," replied the trees. "If we should try, we would be burned." As he ran toward the river, he asked the river to help him. "I cannot," replied the river. "Fire would make my water boil." At last he came to a hard-worn path. "Lie down on me," called Trail. "Lie down on me, and fire will pass over you." So the Changer lay down, and the fire passed over him. Then he returned to the man and the house where a fire had started. All around him were many snakes. When asked about them, the men mocked him. So the Changer killed the man and split him open. From the man's stomach and from every corner of the house, angry snakes jumped upon the Changer. But he killed them or made them weak. That is why there are few snakes in this country, and why all that are here are harmless. Thus the Changer traveled over the land, helping the people and getting rid of evil creatures. He taught the people how to make all the things they needed, how to play games, how to cure the sick, how to show them how to get power from spirits. One day he was traveling along the river. He became hungry. He saw a salmon jumping, called it to him, put it on a spit, and placed it beside his fire. While it was cooking, the Changer fell asleep. A wandering creature came and ate all the salmon. Before he slipped away, he rubbed some grease on the lips and fingers of the sleeping Changer and put some bits of fish between his teeth and lips. When the sleeper awoke, he knew that he had been tricked. He followed the tracks of the creature and soon found him looking at himself in water. The Changer transformed him into a coyote. When he went to the home of his blind grandmother Toad, he saw a mountain of rock. The mountain had been formed from the coils of the cedar rope which his mother and aunt had made in the Starland. How cool! As he looked up at the sky, the Changer thought that there should be more light. So he went up to the sky world and traveled across it by day in the form of the sun. But he made the days so hot that people could not stand the heat. he called his brother, who had been made from the cradle board, and made him the sun. "I will be the night sun," said the changer, "and I will take with me as my wife the maiden who can lift and carry this great bag of things which I have made." Only the daughter of Frog could carry such a load, and so she went up to the sky with him. Today the changer, the frog, and the bag she carried can be seen in the full moon. And that is it for the story. How wonderful. How many different elements are always intertwined in these stories. It's incredible, right? It's not linear at all. And that's why I love them. And again, I hope you enjoyed the story, dear tree. And I hope you enjoyed the story as well. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.